And during the Missouri GameCon, V-Stock was on a list of places I wanted to check out. You can buy, sell, and trade video games. Says so right there. I'm joined by Radical Reggie, Bob, Jake Friedel, and Adam Koralik as we go inside to look around in this kind of slow motion-y still. Okay, Reggie's already on the scene. Man, he found something. So he's going to split off. We're going to break off in our own little groups anyway. And this place is huge, man. V-Stock in St. Louis? Are you kidding me? Man, I like this little sit on the couch and play some video games. I dig that. Wish more stores had that. Right off the bat, I found a bunch of cheap sports games. It looks like they're all sports games, unfortunately. These were all like half price. Loose, you know, half price. And, you know, they're all like, you know, $5 half price, like $2.49. I think this one as well. Yeah, something like that. So, all right, fine. Let's see what else there is here. Now, there's also DVDs, there's books, there's an upstairs and everything. I found a Coleco plug and play. I found one of those buck hunting guns or something like that. Skylanders stuff, man, tons of Skylanders for sure. A lot of that. I don't collect that, don't play that, so, but it's still cool to see. Then a whole aisle full of like Wii Fit boards, basically. Atari Flashback, nothing wrong there. Let's move on straight to the games here. Oh my goodness. Right off the bat, one of my favorites of all time. Crimson Skies. It's funny how Crimson Skies is the best Xbox game. It's also one of the cheapest. Try to keep it that way anyway. Here's some cool books. Moving on, PlayStation 2. Little cameo for my shirt getting into view. I'm holding my phone by my hip. Not that they would kick me out if they saw I was filming stuff, but I don't know, maybe they would. Who knows? I'm trying to do them a favor here. Check out some cool stuff. Hey, Jake. Jake found something cool. Oh, yeah. He found the Rumble Roses. Rumble Roses is not Rule of Rose. Atari. Oh, there's my shirt again. All right. Glass case usually has cool stuff in it. This one doesn't much. This one, it's not bad. Whenever you see a glass case, I'm always expecting to find, like, you know, Earthbound or something, but nothing there. Love me some GameCube. Love me some GameCube. And, pretty decent games here. Decent prices, too. Nothing I can't live without. I'm always looking out for a few GameCube games, though, so. Cool. Moving on, we got PSP. A lot of great PSP and a bunch of the videos, too, the UMDs here. Oh, Reggie found something. What'd you find?
I found a game I don't have, and I want now.
Tetris Stackers.
Yeah, this is cool. Okay.
All right, Tecmo Stackers for the PS1. Let me know there was a PlayStation game that Reggie hadn't heard of yet. Bunch of Wii games. It's cool looking through Wii games because like there's a ton of shovelware, but then also like some really great games in there mixed in too. So it's always worth going through the Wii games just in case. You never know what you're gonna find. Man, this place had a ton of Wii games too, including the Link crossbow. More games on the shelf. Genesis games on the shelf. NES. Some Nintendo 64 controllers if you need them. Third party, you know, but nothing wrong there. Super Nintendo. DS too. Great time to be collecting for DS games. Wii U is up. Wii U is up there as well. Right on. Yeah, this place has no lack of inventory. Oh, what did Adam Koralik find? Adam Koralik found this.
Dude.
Is awesome.
What did you find?
Actually,
Look at this thing.
I like it.
Neat, it's a convention exclusive, apparently. Entertainment Earth.
Which convention, I wonder?
Entertainment Earth.
Oh, well, you mean the convention that you already just told me what it was? That one?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
I don't know how Jake keeps teleporting in front of me. Got PlayStation 3 games here. Also a great time to be collecting for PlayStation 3. Games are super cheap. Great games on the system, too. You can find them for a great deal, no doubt about it. I am thoroughly impressed by this V-Stock. If you're wondering, the letter V stands for vintage stock, those V-Stock. PS4 games, always worth looking out for. Maybe a game that I missed out on. Add it to my backlog. Again, totally awesome prices, too, on most of these games. I always gotta check out the video game books. I'm a huge fan of video game books. Oh, cool to see the Art of Atari here, too. And that Playing with Power, that NES. That was the NES Compendium book that came with the NES Classic, released on the same day. Found some more cheap games over here, like half price, buy one, get one free, or something like that. Then over here, I thought this was pretty cool, too. These were disc-only games for a super great deal. Not everybody likes disc-only games. I don't mind them. I'd rather have them complete, of course. But hey, you know, the game works, so it's all good. Then you know, the front cashier, the front counter, that's where you find the gold, the good stuff. So that's a little bit too higher of a price to just leave out on the shelf. Probably stuff that's more apt to be stolen. Or maybe just games that they think are, you know, deserve to be showcased. Let's see the Final Fantasy games in there. Harvest Moon for the GameCube, which actually isn't all that expensive of a game, but, you know, they'll keep it back there anyway, just in case. They don't want anyone jacking their Harvest Moon. Smash Brothers, I can understand being behind the case, though. And then you can't really see it, but then behind the case are these folders that are full of GameCube or Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. And then we move on upstairs to Slackers in the same mall here, still in St. Louis, Missouri. And as soon as you walk in, you immediately see Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Oh, good thing my daughters aren't here. Got those My Little Ponies. There's my shirt covering my camera view again. The Nintendo 64 games are represented by those cases, which I thought was kind of interesting. More Wii games, of course. Sweet. It's cool to look around, you know? Again, I'm in St. Louis during this time because I was a special guest at the Missouri GameCon, so I want to give a specific thank you to the Missouri GameCon crew, Bob and Jack Friedel, they're brothers, and they were both accompanying me here. Then also a big thanks to Chuck, Chad, Rich, Martin, all the volunteers, everyone who helped out with the Missouri GameCon. It was because of them I was here, and you know, the day before the convention, they kind of took Reggie and myself around town and checked out some of these great stores, including Slackers here, including V-Stock just before this. I had a great time in St. Louis, Missouri, too. Oh, but here's Reggie. Reggie found the PlayStation 1 games. Oh, he said that's a great game here. All right, something worth looking at. See the twin stick down there. Oh, I found these, too. I always look for these just in case. I already have them. The Title Legends 1 and 2. Those are two of the must-haves as far as I'm concerned for PlayStation 2. If I had a PlayStation 2 and just those two games, I'd be in pretty good shape. You don't always see Sega Saturn, Sega CD, and Dreamcast games at any store anymore. Man, it seems like especially, you know, Sega Saturn. But for some reason, St. Louis was brimming with Saturn. Well, here's some Dreamcast games here. Some great games in here, too, not just like sports games and stuff like that, like Outrigger. Yeah, man. And it's a decent price. Now, the prices at Slackers are like, eBay-ish. You know, the animals for Sega CD. That's a game my daughter might like. One of them, or both of them, maybe, I don't know. So not a huge selection of those, but any selection is fine. But all right, I'm going to join my friends once again. Well, again, thanks to the Missouri GameCon crew, and I thank you for watching.